The Ghostly Tales of York Minster, a true story of the supernatural. York Minster, the grand Gothic cathedral that dominates the skyline of the ancient city of York, is one of the most iconic and revered buildings in England. Its towering spires and intricate stained glass windows draw visitors from around the world, eager to witness the beauty and history that lie within. Yet, beneath its awe-inspiring architecture and centuries of religious significance, York Minster holds a darker, more mysterious side. With its long history dating back to the 7th century, the Minster has witnessed countless events of spiritual and historical importance. But it has also seen tragedy, war, and death, events that, according to many, have left an indelible mark on the cathedral. For centuries, the Minster has been home to some of the most chilling ghost stories, and its haunting legends continue to captivate those who dare to venture within its walls. One of the most known spirits haunting the York Minster is that of a woman dressed in a flowing gown, often seen near the Lady Chapel. Described as pale and ethereal, the ghost is said to move gracefully among the pillars and pews, her face sorrowful and her eyes distant. Local lore suggests that she was once a noblewoman who sought sanctuary in the Minster after the death of her lover. Heartbroken and consumed with grief, she is believed to have taken her own life within the chapel, and her spirit has been bound to the cathedral ever since. Visitors and staff who have encountered her report an overwhelming sense of sadness in her presence. One particular sighting by a priest described the woman standing near the altar, her form faint but discernible. When he approached her, she vanished, leaving behind only a cold breeze and a lingering sense of despair. To this day, some claim to see her wandering the chapel at dusk, her footsteps barely audible on the stone floor. In the south transept, one of the most photographed and visited area of the Minster, there is a legend of a dark figure seen walking between the pillars. This shadowy figure has been described as tall and indistinct, often appearing at the edges of the visitor's vision. While no one can say for certain who this figure might be, it is believed to be the ghost of a former bishop who was deeply devoted to the cathedral and who passed away suddenly within its walls. According to some versions of the tale, the bishop's spirit was bound to the minster because of his unfinished work. His dedication to his faith and the cathedral was so intense that it is said his soul could not rest until the restoration of certain parts of the building, particularly the stained glass windows, which were in dire need of repair at the time of his death. Some even claim to have felt a chill in the air when the figure appears, followed by the faint sound of whispers, as if the bishop is communicating with those around him. While York Minster is famous for its magnificent bells, there are those who believe the cathedral's bells ring for more than just ceremonial purposes. Several witnesses have reported hearing the sound of bells tolling late at night, even when no service is taking place and the bells are at rest. This eerie occurrence has been linked to the death of a bell ringer who tragically fell from the bell tower while attempting to repair the mechanism. His ghost is believed to still linger within the bell tower, and some say the phantom tolls of the bells are his way of continuing his sacred work. One visitor, staying in a nearby hotel, described waking in the middle of the night to the sound of bells ringing out from the minster. When they checked the time, it was well past midnight, and the bells should not have been ringing. The eerie tolling continued for several minutes before abruptly stopping, leaving a sense of unease in the air. In the vast nave of the minster, a shadowy figure is occasionally seen drifting silently between the rows of pews. The figure is often described as tall and indistinct, with no clear facial features. Some say it's the ghost of a monk, while others believe it's the spirit of a former clergyman who died while serving at the cathedral. The most unnerving part of these sightings is the sense of being watched. Many who have seen this shadow report a sudden intense feeling of dread or unease. One visitor recounted walking through the nave, admiring the beauty of the architecture, and when they suddenly felt the unmistakable sensation of someone standing behind them, they turned, and the shadowy figure was gone, but the cold presence continued to linger. The crypt beneath York Minster, an ancient and atmospheric part of the cathedral, is also home to some of the more disturbing reports of paranormal activity. Staff and visitors have reported strange noises emanating from the dark stone chambers below, including the sounds of footsteps, doors creaking, and even the scraping of furniture being moved. Some believe this activity to be the work of a mischievous poltergeist, while others suggest it could be the restless spirit of a bishop or monk buried in the crypt. A particularly unsettling incident took place during a routine maintenance check when a custodian entered the crypt to find one of the stone coffins moved several inches from its original position. The custodian, who had always been skeptical of ghost stories, later admitted to feeling a presence in the room, a sensation of being watched despite being alone. When the coffin was returned to its original place, the activity ceased, though the memory of that moment haunted him for years afterwards. Among the Minster's most unusual ghost stories is that of a black cat, often spotted by visitors as it moves silently between the pews or slinks along the cathedral's stone floors. The cat has been described as sleek and shadowy, and it is said to disappear without a trace when followed. Some believe the cat is a representation of a former churchwarden's pet, while others think it could be the ghost of a cat who was once cared for by the monks or clergy. There's even a legend that claims the cat is a supernatural being, appearing only to those who have been touched by the cathedral's magic or who possess a deep connection to the building's history. York Minster, with its towering spires and intricate architecture, is a testament to the city's rich history, but is also a place where the past refuses to remain quiet. From the haunting figure of the Lady Chapel to the shadowy spectres in the nave, the cathedral is steeped in ghostly tales that blur the line between history and the supernatural. Visitors may come to admire the stunning beauty of the cathedral, but for those who are sensitive to the energies that linger within its ancient walls, the Minster offers much more than just a spiritual experience. It is a place where the past and present collide and where the ghosts of York's history continue to make their presence known. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the stories of York Minster are sure to leave a lasting impression as you walk in the footsteps of those who have come before, both the living and the dead.